What's going on? Welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for being here. I'm making this video today because I want to tell you about the new app that I just released and why I did it. As many of you know, this has been an app that has been in my mind and in my thoughts for about 8 years. I actually remember thinking about this with my buddy Baptiste when I was back playing in Sweden. My main goal was always to help footballers improve their foot skills. And the main reason that I wanted to do that is because I came from a neighborhood in the US that football wasn't so popular. It was more basketball, baseball, and lacrosse. I started actually taking football seriously when I was about 13 years old, when an English coach who coached at a professional academy team in England came over to the US and started coaching our club team. He came up to me after the training and he said to me, "Yo, Friedlander, you play any other sports, or is football, is soccer the only sport that you're playing?" And I told him I was playing basketball, baseball, lacrosse, American football, and basically what he said to me is, if you actually want to play professional football and play at the top level, football should be the only sport that you need to focus on at this age. So from there, I took his words on board. I went home, talked it over with my parents, and I said to them, I want to play top level professional football. So I'm done playing these other sports. I'm only going to focus on soccer, on football at this age. They fully respected my decision and they said it was okay. So with that being said, since I lived in an area where football wasn't the main sport, there weren't a lot of coaches and a lot of technical coaches to teach me the ins and outs of the game. They never taught me how to be good on the ball, how to be confident on the ball, how to improve my decision making. I was learning a lot of this stuff on YouTube and online. As you and me both know, there's tons of great tools and resources now online on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on all these platforms that people give away for free. But the only problem is there's an overwhelm of information, so you might not know what to actually do, and you start getting stressed and anxious. This is something that I saw in a lot of young footballers that I coached in the past and that I currently coach. And basically what I said to myself, reverting back to my story in Sweden, is what if I can create a football development tool, a football development app that can help these young footballers improve on their own? Because you and me both know the only way for you to improve is for you to take full accountability and responsibility for your football development. If you're relying on teammates, coaches, and your parents, you're never gonna get to the top level. And that's what I've seen after playing in 5 countries the past 9 years in Europe. The true footballers who make it are the ones who are disciplined and take full accountability and responsibility for their gym work, their ball work on the pitch, their work after training, their attitude during team training, their nutrition, and their recovery work. So this is my message to you, that you need to start taking full accountability and responsibility for your development. When you do that, you will actually skyrocket your development and take yourself to the next level. But if you constantly leave your development dependent on others, you will never reach a high level. So the story that I always revert back to without going too far into my childhood is when I first moved to Nuremberg, Germany to pursue the dream of playing professional football. I became really good friends with this guy named Paolo Bucci. If you're watching right now, you're the man, and we were absolutely dialed. I actually remember the way we became close friends is we were in German class and we wanted to level each other up. So basically what I did is I completely dissected his nutrition and his gym plan for him, because that's what I was always experienced in. I was always experienced in the physical aspect of the game because that's what I was obsessed with. On the other hand, he was obsessed with the technical aspect of the game, and it showed. He was and still is one of the best technical players that I've ever seen and I've ever played with. So basically what we did every single morning is we trained an additional 2 hours on our own, at least 6 to 7 days per week, and we would do it on the surface near this schoolyard in Nuremberg. It had a wall and it had a track. So what we would do every morning is work on simple stuff and simple drills. 2-touch juggling, 1-touch juggling, ball mastery, working with every surface of the foot. And he said to me, "Bro, Rick, you played Division I soccer, but you don't have any left foot." He was like, "Bro, your right foot's unbelievable and you could strike the ball really well and you have a good first touch and you're a pretty good footballer, but you have no left foot. How did you play Division I soccer? How did you play Division I football without a left foot?" And I said to him, "Bro, because no one was ever honest like you were to me. So I really appreciate that, and I always hang around guys like that. I don't hang around yes men. I hang around people who tell me the truth." So from there, I use that as dark side motivation to get completely technically unbelievable. And for the past 10 years, I have been harping and studying on the technical side of the game like no one else. I have been coached by tons of great mentors who have coached some of the top players in the game that I can't mention their name in this video because they don't want me to, but I promise you, I've been coached by a lot of top guys who have coached guys in the Bundesliga, in the Premier League, and in La Liga. And basically what I did is I just fully soaked up all the knowledge from these trainers. What I would do is I would go to one-on-one sessions with them, I would soak up all the knowledge and all the details, and I would write it in my own notebook. Then basically what I did is I created my own technical training Bible. And then what I would do is I would do this technical training Bible before every team session and before every training session that we did with this club that I was at in Germany, specifically for Americans and foreigners. So like I said, I would train additionally 10 to 12 hours per week on the ball in addition to team training. After 10 months, I was a bit burnt out, so I wouldn't suggest going hard for 2 to 3 hours additionally each day with your team training, but after 10 months, my technical ability skyrocketed. And I was actually probably one of the best technical players on every pitch I stepped on after that. So going back to the main reason of this video and the main reason that I developed this app is I want to bring you the knowledge that I've learned after 25 years of playing this beautiful game and put it into a simple and easy to use app. This is a raw video, it's not going to be many edits, maybe there'll be some subtitles here, but my goal is to show you how to build your technical ability, because you and me both know the most important thing for you as a footballer is to be good on the ball. Yes, you're only touching the ball 40 to 60 times per game. You're only on the ball 2 to 4 minutes. Yes, you're off the ball 97% of the time, and people always say, focus on what you do off the ball, and yes, you have to do that, and that's why it's so hard to play top professional football, because you need all of that, and you need the stars to align, you need the right network, and you need the right connections. But if you're not good on the ball, you're not going to be confident. And from me to you, the most common question I get from young footballers is, Rick, how do I improve my confidence? Rick, I'm so good in team training. I'm so good at individual training. I feel so good. And then when I go into games, I lack confidence. I lack ability. And my answer to them is, have you been training hard and smart with the right training plan consistently? And I would say about 98, 99% of the time, they tell me they haven't been training consistently with the right plan. So my goal with this app is I'm taking away all the thinking for you. I have 1,700 plus exercises and probably more by the time this video is released that will help improve your athleticism, but most importantly, your ability on the ball. Every single week, I develop you a weekly training session. Within that weekly training session, you have 6 sections. You have a dynamic warm-up, mobility, you have ball work, you have first touch, you have area control, and you have core work. Within each of those sections, you have about 10 to 15 exercises, depending on how I'm feeling for the week. Every single exercise was done by me, and every single exercise is coached and voice recorded by me for at least 1 minute. Within those voice recordings, I tell you exactly what to do, how to do each exercise, and what to focus on, and why it will help improve your game. Because the most important thing for anything you do is to know the why. If you know the why, the how is so much easier. I'm pretty sure Franz Kafka said that. Within each of those exercises, you have a timer that you can pick where you can work for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 2 minutes. So within that timer, you work, and then within the app, after you finish the exercise, it's gonna record the duration of your training session, and then it's gonna measure your quantity of your training through the week, through the day, and through the month, and then you're gonna be able to compete with people around the globe on the global leaderboard. This is gonna be very necessary for the competitive nature of footballers. Obviously, like I said in the very beginning, and obviously like we both know, quality is the most important, but right now we don't have any quantitative specific things to measure your quality. The only thing that we can use right now within the app is called the skill development tracker. So also within there, you have specific exercises after training on the app for some time that you can go in there and test. So you can go in there every week, every month, every 3 months, every year, whatever it is, and you can see, have I been training consistently and am I actually improving? Because the most important thing for you is to know your stats. Is your daily training and your weekly and your monthly training really improving yourself as a footballer? So what you're gonna do in there is you can choose from the 3 sections, ball work, first touch, and aerial control, where we can measure your reps and really be quantitative, and you could see the number of touches that you get within the minute. Also, the app is gonna save your scores, so then when you go back in a month or 2 months or 3 months, you can compete against that score and you could see that you're actually improving. Because you and me both know, when you're gonna be consistent on this app, you are going to improve. The next feature that I want to talk about is the exercise database. Like I said, there's about 1,700 exercises in there through all those categories. Also within the database, you're going to find a shooting section and a partner drill section. And basically what you can do with that exercise database is you can create your own playlist. So just like Apple and Spotify, you could take the exercises that you think you really need to work on for the week and you can make your own workout playlist. So yes, you have a workout playlist that I've suggested, you have a weekly session that I built and I suggested, but you could also take that and you can make your own weekly session and your own playlist that you can work on every single day or every single week, and you could title it for a specific day, a specific training week, a specific thing that you want to work on. So the opportunities are endless. You can take all these exercises, you can make your own playlists, you can have fun with it, you can build your own workouts, and ultimately, you can control your football development, which is the ultimate goal with this app. Drink, man, I swear. 14 minutes, man. So the next feature that I want to talk about is the Academy section. Within the Academy section, I have a couple different categories. Number 1, we have pro tips. Number 2, we have nutrition tips. Number 3, we have mindset and lifestyle tips. Then we have a recovery section where you have self-myofascial release and you have stretching. And then we have a section specifically on living room work. So let me describe all of those 5 sections. In the pro tip section, I have a pro come on each and every week and they give you their top 3 tips for you to sign your first professional contract or maintain your professional status. Each and every one of these players has played around the globe. These are guys and girls that I've had on my podcast who have played at high levels and who are in the shoes that you want to be in. Your goal is to take advice from people who are at where you want to be at. Then we got the nutrition section. So every single week, I, Persistent Nutrition Coach, I've worked with about 500 people online. I've worked with about 200, 300 people in person or more for 6 months or more. And I take all the things that I've garnered from my nutrition studying since I'm 15, so for about 14 years, and I break down every single thing that you need to know for football or nutrition to improve your performance on the pitch. Because my goal is not to improve your looks off the pitch. Yes, if you have the right training, you have the right recovery, and you follow all the nutrition tips, you're gonna improve your aesthetics and the way you look. But my most important thing for you is to improve your performance on the pitch for match day. Your goal is to be able to recover properly and to be able to perform to your utmost and your 100%. The third thing that I wanna talk about in there is the mindset and lifestyle section. So within that section, I give you a new mindset and lifestyle tip, a new motivational tip that you can use every single week to improve. We talk about how to set goals. We talk about who to be friends with. We talk about how to cut negative people out of your life. We talk about the ultimate morning routine. We talk about the ultimate night routine. Everything that you need to optimize your mind and your body is in there. So I take all the knowledge that I've studied after 14 years obsessively studying and optimizing the human body, and I also take the 9 years of experience that I've had alone overseas and I give it to you. Many of my friends say to me, Rick, I don't know how you did this, man. I don't know how you lived in these countries alone with no family and people that aren't super close to you. And that's what I do. I've suffered because I want to help you. For me, I like to suffer. I enjoy suffering. That's where I grow the most. So what I do is I take all the mindset and the lifestyle tips that I've developed for myself and my clients that work on myself and them, and I give it to you within that section. Next section I want to talk about is the living room section. Yes, you and me both know whether it's winter, whether it's summer, whether you don't have a field, you can always have an excuse. It's snowing out, it's raining, it's too hot, it's too cold, I don't have access to a pitch. So what I'm doing within this app is I'm not giving you any room for excuses. You could work in your living room with the First Touch section. You could work in your garage with the Bulwark section. You can work in a parking garage. You can work in your home and develop your ability so you have no excuses. Within that section, I have about 200 exercises within Bulwark and First Touch, so you can improve yourself when you don't even have access to a pitch and the weather is poor or it's snowing out or it's too cold. You have no excuses. So the next section that I want to talk about is the specific recovery section. As I always talk about, you are breaking your body down on the pitch and in the gym. The only way that you recover is by getting yourself into a parasympathetic nervous system state, calming yourself down, and getting into the rest and digest state. The way you do that is through the mindset and lifestyle section, through the nutrition section. So you work on your mind, you work on your breath work, you work on your meditation, you work on your nutrition, you work on your sleep. And then you work on your stretching, your ability to breathe through stretches, your ability to release tight muscles and tight adhesions. So within the recovery section, in the Academy section of the app, I have about 50 different self-myofascial release techniques that you can do with a foam roller, a football, soccer ball, a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball. Whatever you have, you can use this to release any tight areas or adhesions. With that being said, after you do that, you go into our static stretching. Within our static stretching session, I think I have about 70 to 100 exercises to improve your overall mobility and flexibility of your body, which is going to help your overall injury risk. And what you need to do, like I have in there, is you need to make sure you're warm before doing any of these stretches. So what I suggest is doing a nice warm up, doing your self-myofascial release techniques, and then doing your stretches. And then last but not least, in the app, we have a community section. In the community section, you join a Discord with all the app users. Within the Discord, my goal is to connect the football world. So my goal is for you to create your own network with like-minded, ambitious footballers who want to play at the next level. Whether you want to play top level at your club team, at your A team, whether you want to play top level high school, whether you want to play college, whether you want to play semi-pro, or whether you want to play pro, my goal is for you to connect with like-minded footballers so you could share connections, you could share resources, and we can all get better together. The main goal of this app is for you to improve yourself as a footballer and ultimately as a human to improve the football world and to improve the world as a whole. As Muhammad Gandhi said, if you change one person, you can change the world, and you have to start with one person at a time. So as you see within this app, I have included tons and tons and tons and tons of information for you to improve as a footballer and a human so you can change the world and you can change the football world. Trust me, I know. I've played in 5 different countries. I've played in Europe for the last 9 years. I've played in the US. I've seen all the politics. I've seen all the stuff. I've seen all the BS. I've seen that it's all about who you know. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's the reality of the world. There's tons of highs and lows. Football is not fair. Life is unfair. But the only way that you can prepare yourself for this cruel world is to properly train, to properly take care of yourself. And that's the main reason that I developed this app. This app is everything that I know that I want you to know. My goal is to take all my experience and give it to you so you can learn and you could do the right things and not make the same mistakes that I made. You could take the successes that I have and you could use them to your advantage, and you could take the failures that I have and you could use them to your advantage. I think that's about it for now. I'm sure you're wondering about the pricing. First, there's a 7-day free trial that you can use. So there's no risk. You could cancel anytime. If you use a 7-day free trial and you don't like it, you can cancel immediately and you won't get charged. But if you like the app and you want to continue with it, it's $9.99 per month. For 3 months, it's $24.99, and for the year, it's $89.99. That's less than 30 cents per day. Anyways, you gotta get on the app. If you have any questions, make sure you drop a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you within the app. Deuces.